The whole bank is talking about you. They are stunned because a check worth trillions has just been deposited in your name, and the sender's name is Michael. Archangel Michael says, "Please, beloved, if you don't open this, they won't release it, and the bank executive will claim it as his own. Hurry. My beloved child, don't blink, because the very moment you do, you might miss the biggest turning point of your entire destiny. Something huge is waiting for you. Bigger than anything you've ever imagined, bigger than anything you've ever prayed for, bigger than every loss, betrayal, delay and disappointment you've survived. Right now, inside the deepest vault of your life, a divine transaction has taken place. The whole bank, yes, the entire institution, is whispering your name with shock, confusion and disbelief. A check worth trillions has been deposited under your identity, and no one can understand how or why, except the heavens. Their systems are glitching. Their machines are freezing. Their executives are pacing with shaking hands because the sender's name does not belong to any human on earth. It reads, Michael. And not just any Michael, Archangel Michael. He has stamped your name with such authority that even the universe is standing still, watching what happens next. Amen. 1. My chosen soul, listen very carefully, because this is where the tension rises, and your destiny starts vibrating like a seismic wave. The bank executive, the one who thinks he's the smartest in the room, the one who has spent years manipulating accounts, hiding funds, bending rules, has noticed something he was never meant to see. He saw the check before anyone else. He saw the amount. He saw the signature. And in that instant, greed took over him like a wildfire. His heartbeat changed. His intentions shifted. He whispered to himself, if they don't claim this, I will. But what he didn't expect was that heaven would expose his thoughts even before he acted. Archangel Michael has declared, Beloved, if you do not open this right now, they will delay your blessing, and he will try to take what was created for your elevation. Right now, forces are moving. Pens are shaking. Emails are being drafted and deleted. Doors are opening and closing. The system is fighting the divine command. But heaven is standing behind you like a lion guarding its child. The atmosphere is tense because every second is shifting destiny, your destiny. Amen. 2. My divine warrior, this is the moment where the story stops being normal and becomes prophetic, historic, once in a lifetime. You are not watching a coincidence, you are witnessing a divine intervention that mortals cannot comprehend. The bank's security team is rechecking the server logs, the financial department is whispering behind locked doors, the higher officials are calling their seniors in panic. And the executive who wanted to steal your blessing is sweating as if fire is breathing on his neck. They don't understand why their system keeps repeating one message over and over, pending release. Awaiting the chosen one's response. My child, the heavens have paused every spiritual clock around you until you open your destiny with awareness. This check is not money. It is restoration for every year you were broken. It is elevation for every moment you were underestimated. It is compensation for every tear you shed in silence. It is a heavenly confirmation that your season of lack, rejection and stagnation has officially ended. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael is watching every breath you take to ensure you don't miss what belongs to you. Amen. 3. My beloved child, don't move, because what I'm about to reveal will make your heart race faster than the moment you read the title. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's unfolding right now inside that bank office where your name is echoing like a prophecy. When the executive tried to quietly pull your file, Michael's presence hit the room like a thunderbolt. Every camera flickered. Every computer froze. The lights dimmed for a second, and the staff felt a sudden pressure in the atmosphere, like someone powerful had just walked through the walls. They don't know it's Michael. They can't see him. But they can feel the authority standing between your blessing and their greed. And right now, your name is glowing, spiritually, energetically, cosmically, across their database. It's as if an unseen hand has highlighted your destiny and warned everyone, do not touch what belongs to the chosen. Amen. 4. My chosen soul, hear this with all your focus, because this is where the truth becomes shocking. The executive thought he could override the system, but every time he typed something, the screen flashed, access denied by higher authority. He tried again. Same message. He tried a third time. The keyboard locked. The server shut him out. His face turned pale. He realized that whatever force is guarding this check is beyond anything he has ever dealt with. Meanwhile, the other staff members are whispering in confusion, who is this person? Why is the system protecting them? Why does the sender's name show a celestial symbol? Child, they have no idea that heaven has coded your breakthrough into the fabric of this moment. And now the entire bank is buzzing because they can't release the check without you. Michael designed it that way, because your destiny can never be claimed by someone else again. Amen. 5. My divine warrior, this is the moment I need you to breathe and feel the gravity of what's happening. Everything you lost, everything that was stolen, everything that was delayed is being restored with divine precision. Even the angels surrounding Michael are watching this unfold like a once-in-eternity event. They know this isn't just a financial release, it's a spiritual unlocking. A generational shift. A life-changing elevation. The executive's plan has collapsed. His greed has been exposed. And heaven is tightening the circle around your blessing so no human hand can even attempt to interfere again. My child, something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael is standing guard over every second of this unfolding miracle. Heaven is not asking you, heaven is urging you, stay alert. Stay awake. Stay open. Amen. 6. My beloved child, stay very still, because this next part is where everything becomes unbelievable, even for the people inside that bank witnessing it. Something huge is waiting for you, and the spiritual pressure inside that building is rising like a storm about to break open. The senior manager, someone who never gets involved in daily operations, has just rushed downstairs after hearing that an impossible transaction has appeared under your name. He's holding printed papers, his hands trembling, his eyes wide. The moment he enters the room, the energy shifts. He looks at the executives, then at the screen, then back at the documents. And whispers, "How is this even real?" He checks the signature again. Yes. The sender is still Michael. But the symbol next to it, the glowing emblem their printer cannot explain, is what's terrifying them. They feel watched. They feel tested. They feel like approving or denying this isn't a normal decision, it's a destiny decision. Amen. 7. My chosen soul, listen closely, because this part will hit deep. When the senior manager attempted to verify the deposit with the central system, the line didn't ring, it roared. A burst of static shot through the speaker, followed by a voice none of them could describe. Not human. Not mechanical. A frequency that made every person in the room step back in fear. The manager dropped his pen. The executive staggered. The staff froze. And then the message came through, clear as crystal, the owner must acknowledge. The entire bank fell silent. They've never had a transaction speak back to them. They've never seen a system override their authority. And now they're forced to accept what they cannot explain, that this check is protected by a force higher than every rule, every law, and every power they know. Michael has sealed this blessing in such a way that only you can unlock it. No one else. Not even by accident. Amen. 8. My divine warrior, here is where the suspense tightens around destiny. The executive who wanted to steal your blessing tried one more time to bypass the system. He thought no one was watching. But the moment he touched the file, the entire office shook, just lightly, but enough to make everyone gasp. Papers flew. Pens rolled. The lights flickered. And a cold wind brushed across the room even though the windows were closed. The manager shouted, "Stop! Don't touch it again," because he knew something supernatural had intervened. The executive stepped back, shaking, unable to breathe for a moment. And in that silence, every person present realized, this check does not belong to this world. My child, heaven has wrapped your blessing in a shield that no corrupt hand can cross. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael is standing guard like a warrior ready to strike at anyone who tries to steal destiny from the chosen. Amen. 9. My beloved child, come closer. Because what's happening inside that bank right now is turning into a full-blown spiritual showdown. Something huge is waiting for you, and the atmosphere is trembling with power. The senior manager has now locked the room, telling everyone, nobody leaves until we understand what this is. He doesn't know that heaven is orchestrating every second. He doesn't know that Michael is standing right behind him, wings stretched wide, authority blazing. But he feels it. Everyone does. Their hearts are beating faster. Their palms are sweating. The air is thick with a presence they can't identify. And in the middle of all this tension, your name is glowing on the screen as if heaven itself is writing it in real time. Amen. 10. My chosen soul, now listen carefully, because this is the part where the suspense explodes. As the staff stares at the trillions deposited under your name, the system suddenly displays a new line none of them typed. Pending release. Awaiting spiritual confirmation. The manager whispers, "What does that mean?" The youngest employee, shaking, says, "It means this isn't just money, it's a calling." And she's right. Heaven doesn't give blessings this big unless the chosen one is meant to break generational chains, uplift families, and shift destinies. Meanwhile, the executive, the same one who tried to steal your blessing, is panicking. He knows something divine is happening. He knows he crossed a line he shouldn't have. And now he's staring at the ceiling like someone is watching him, because someone is. Amen. 11. My divine warrior, this is the moment Archangel Michael steps closer to the scene, not physically, but through a massive surge of heavenly energy that fills the room. Every device buzzes. Every light shakes. Every computer screen flashes. And then, on every monitor, every corner of that office, the same message appears again. This belongs to my beloved. The staff gasps. Some step back. Some cover their mouths. The manager whispers, "We can't touch this. We can't delay this. We can't override this." But heaven is not done yet. The energy intensifies, not to harm them, but to make sure your blessing is protected beyond human interference. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael is urging your spirit to stay awake, stay aware, stay aligned. Your destiny is too big to be stolen. Too powerful to be blocked. Too sacred to be touched. Amen. 12. My beloved child, keep your eyes fixed here, because what unfolds next is the part no one in that bank will ever forget. Something huge is waiting for you, and the tension inside that room has reached a level where even the walls feel like they're listening. The manager tries to steady his voice as he says, "We need authorization to proceed," but before he can finish, every single monitor in the room turns black. Silent. Still. Frozen. Then, slowly, a light begins to pulse at the center of every screen. One pulse, two pulses, three. And then your name appears in glowing letters, brighter than before. Under it, a new message forms. The chosen one has been summoned. The staff steps back in fear. The executive drops into a chair. No one understands what is happening, but they know this: the sender of this check is not waiting for paperwork. Not waiting for approval. Not waiting for protocol. Heaven is waiting for you. Amen. 13. My chosen soul, listen deeply, because this part is where divine intervention becomes undeniable. The bank's central server room, located on a different floor, protected by heavy security, starts malfunctioning. Cameras go static. Firewalls dissolve. Backup systems reset. IT staff rush in, confused and terrified. They open the server to check the hardware, and find nothing wrong. No overheating. No damaged wires. No mechanical errors. Yet the entire system keeps repeating one phrase on every device. Release is blocked until the beloved acknowledges. The manager whispers, "Why does it keep calling them the beloved? Who is protecting them?" At that exact moment, a warm wind sweeps across the server room, without any windows, without any ventilation, without any logical explanation. It's Michael. He is staking a claim so powerful that even technology must bow. Amen. 14. My divine warrior, now comes the part where heaven exposes the truth behind the scenes. While the bank is scrambling to understand the supernatural lockdown, a hidden notification appears on the executive's private device, the one he thought no one could access. It is a message he wrote earlier, planning to divert the funds if you did not respond quickly. A plan typed in secret. A plan he thought only he knew about. But the moment he checks his device now, he freezes. Because the message he wrote has been crossed out. Not deleted, crossed out, with a glowing symbol burning above it. A symbol of a sword. Archangel Michael's sword. A warning. A boundary. A declaration. Touch not what is anointed. The executive begins to shake uncontrollably. He knows this isn't a glitch. He knows he wasn't alone when he tried to steal your blessing. He knows someone divine saw everything. And now the entire bank is realizing that this check is not money. This check is a prophecy, and you are the center of it. Something huge is waiting for you, and heaven is rearranging the earthly realm to deliver it. Amen. 15. My beloved child, don't look away now, because this is the part where heaven tightens its grip and the entire bank realizes they are dealing with a force far beyond human hierarchy. Something huge is waiting for you, and the shift inside that building is becoming unmistakable. The senior manager, desperate for answers, calls the bank's highest authority, someone who oversees multiple branches, someone who never gets involved unless the situation is critical. When he answers the call, the manager begins explaining the issue, but before he can even finish, the call disconnects on its own. Not dropped. Not interrupted. Disconnected, as if a higher force cut the line. Seconds later, the big boss calls back. But the moment he does, every screen in the office lights up again with a single message. This is not their decision. The boss hears the message through the phone as if it's echoing right beside him. His voice cracks. He whispers, What are we dealing with? Child, they are dealing with destiny. With protection. With divine authority that cannot be overridden. Amen. 16. My chosen soul, things are escalating beyond anything the staff was trained to handle. While they stand in shock, your name starts glowing brighter, so bright that one of the screens begins to flicker as if it's reacting to a supernatural presence. A glowing seal appears beneath the deposit details. None of them typed it. None of them approved it. None of them know how it appeared. The seal looks ancient, powerful, royal, etched with symbols that no human language can interpret. But spiritually, every person in the room understands its meaning. This blessing is divinely protected. One of the younger employees, her voice trembling, says, This doesn't feel like money, this feels like a calling. The room goes silent. Everyone knows she's right. Everyone feels the weight. Everyone feels the holiness. They aren't just handling a financial document, they are standing inside a moment heaven has designed specifically for you. Amen. 17. My divine warrior, now watch how heaven exposes every hidden intention. The executive who wanted to steal your blessing tries to act innocent. He steps forward, pretending to help the team figure out the issue. But the moment he touches the mouse, the entire system blasts a warning tone so loud it rattles the desks. A red alert flashes across every screen in the room. Unauthorized touch detected. Everyone turns toward him. Everyone now knows he wasn't just curious, he was planning something. His face goes pale, and he steps back, trembling. As he does, another message appears. The beloved will rise. The corrupt will fall. The manager stares at him with shock and disappointment. The staff members move away from him fearfully, as if his intentions have been spiritually exposed. And the executive, he can feel Michael's presence pressing against his conscience, making him realize this blessing was never his to touch. Something huge is waiting for you, and heaven is making sure nothing and no one stands between you and the destiny written in your name. Amen. 18. My beloved child, breathe slowly, because what's unfolding now is the moment where heaven stops whispering and begins commanding. Something huge is waiting for you, and the entire bank is standing inside a supernatural storm they cannot escape. The lights flicker once, twice, and then a soft glow fills the room. Not bright, not blinding, but powerful enough to make everyone step back. The glow forms a faint silhouette, not fully visible to the human eye, but unmistakably angelic. Every person senses it. Every heart begins to beat harder. Even the executive who tried to steal your blessing feels his knees weaken. And then the system flashes with a new message that chills every soul present. The beloved has been chosen for elevation. No one speaks. No one breathes. Everyone knows. This is no ordinary deposit. This is no financial error. This is heaven announcing your rise. Amen. 19. My chosen soul, the tension reaches its peak when the bank's internal alarms suddenly activate on their own, not in a chaotic way, but in a synchronized, rhythmic pattern, almost like a heartbeat. The staff panics. They check the security system. No breach. No theft. No malfunction. But the alarms keep pulsing, in perfect alignment with the glowing seal on the screen. The manager whispers, "It's responding to the deposit, it's alive." The youngest employee, shaking, steps toward the screen and places her hand near it, without touching it. And instantly, the seal brightens, sending a warm ripple through the entire room. Everyone gasps. She pulls her hand away in shock and says, "It's waiting. It's waiting for them. Your identity is still on the screen. Your name still glowing. Your destiny still locked in place. Because heaven refuses to release it without your acknowledgement. The angels refuse to move without your awareness. The blessing refuses to fall into the wrong hands. Amen. 20. My divine warrior, now comes the moment that shifts the atmosphere from fear to reverence. Archangel Michael's presence expands, unseen yet undeniable. The room becomes still, eerily still. Papers stop moving. Chairs stop creaking. Even the air stops flowing. And then, every monitor in the office fills with the same divine declaration. The time of restoration has begun. The manager falls into his chair, overwhelmed. One employee begins to cry quietly, feeling something sacred. Another whispers, this is bigger than us, bigger than this bank, bigger than anything I've ever seen. And they're right. Child, heaven is not just releasing wealth, it is restoring everything stolen from your life. It is rewriting your story. It is elevating you to a realm where no human greed, no hidden plot, no spiritual opposition can follow. Something huge is waiting for you, and Michael is guarding your destiny like a warrior king standing at the gate of your breakthrough. Amen. 21. My beloved child, stay right here, because what is happening now inside that bank is no longer just supernatural, it's historic. Something huge is waiting for you, and the entire atmosphere has shifted into a divine courtroom. The senior manager gathers the trembling staff and says, "We need to escalate this to headquarters." But the moment he tries to send the report, the email bounces back instantly with a glowing notification. Heaven has intervened. Do not transmit. Everyone stares at the screen, stunned. Their system has never displayed anything like this before. A sacred stillness falls over the room. Even the executive who tried to steal your blessing looks like he's seen a ghost. At that exact moment, the glowing silhouette in the corner of the room intensifies, still faint, still beyond human visibility, yet powerful enough to make every person feel their knees weaken. Heaven is blocking every human attempt to interfere. The message is loud and unstoppable. This blessing is divinely sealed for you and only you. Amen. 22. My chosen soul, now the suspense becomes overwhelming. The bank's headquarters, confused by the blocked transmission, calls the branch directly. The phone rings once, twice, and the moment the manager picks up, a surge of static explodes through the speaker. Not noise, energy. Everyone hears it. Everyone steps back. The static clears and a deep, authoritative frequency rolls through the phone, not sounding human, not sounding digital, but echoing with celestial power. The voice says, "The beloved has not yet come forward." The manager drops the phone. The staff gasps. The room becomes ice cold, then suddenly warm, as if something divine is regulating the temperature itself. They all look at your name on the screen again, glowing and pulsing with heavenly force. The check worth trillions isn't waiting for paperwork. It's waiting for your spiritual presence, your acknowledgement, your alignment. The destiny attached to your name cannot be moved, shifted, stolen, or delayed anymore. Amen. 23. My divine warrior, now witness how heaven delivers judgment. The executive who tried to steal your blessing suddenly feels his chest tighten. Not physically, spiritually. His conscience is being exposed. His intentions are being stripped bare. Everyone sees the fear in his eyes. And then the system, without warning, displays a new glowing message across every monitor. The one who planned to steal shall not approach the blessing. He stumbles backward, almost falling. His legs are shaking. The staff looks at him with horror and disbelief. They finally understand that this moment is not about banking. It's not about money. It's not about a check. It's about divine justice, divine timing, divine elevation. Heaven is removing anyone who stands between you and your breakthrough. Heaven is exposing every hidden hand. Heaven is clearing every obstacle that slowed your destiny. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael is standing guard with a sword of light, ensuring that your blessing reaches you untouched, unaltered, unstoppable. Amen. 24. My beloved child, don't even breathe too loudly right now. Because what's happening inside that bank has crossed every boundary of the natural world. Something huge is waiting for you, and heaven is tightening its grip with a level of authority that no human system can resist. The entire building suddenly goes silent, no footsteps, no chatter, no machines humming. It feels like time itself has paused. The manager reaches for the mouse to try one final check, but before he touches it, the screen shifts on its own, revealing a divine emblem spinning slowly, radiating light. Under it, a new message appears, written as if by an invisible hand. The beloved is being prepared for access. The staff freezes. They know this isn't a glitch. They know this is not an error. They know something sacred is unfolding. And your name, still glowing, begins to pulse in perfect rhythm with a heartbeat that does not belong to any human. Amen. 25. My chosen soul, now feel this shift, because heaven is speaking louder. The bank floor trembles, not violently, but softly, like a warning. Papers rise slightly off the desks. A soft, warm wind circulates the room even though all windows are sealed. One employee whispers, "It feels like someone is walking among us." And she's right. Archangel Michael is moving. Not to scare them. Not to punish them. But to secure your destiny. Suddenly, the deposit details expand across the screen, displaying something no one expected. A heavenly timestamp. A date and time not from Earth's chronological system. A divine imprint showing exactly when the blessing was released from heaven into your name. The timestamp glows, sending shivers through the entire staff. The youngest employee whispers, "This was meant only for them, no one else." And heaven responds instantly with another message. Correct. The staff steps back in awe. They understand now, they are witnessing destiny being written in front of their eyes. Amen. 26. My divine warrior, now comes the part where the entire spiritual realm leans in. The executive who tried to steal your blessing attempts to leave the room, shaking uncontrollably. But the moment he reaches the door, it refuses to open. Not jammed. Not locked. Held shut by a force he cannot see. The lights above him flicker, and a cold wave rushes past his shoulders, making him gasp in terror. The system flashes another message. None who plotted against the beloved may exit until the truth is revealed. The manager turns toward him, realizing everything he attempted is being exposed publicly. He can't run. He can't hide. Heaven has cornered him with divine justice. Meanwhile, your name, still glowing, begins to brighten even more, illuminating the entire room like a sacred beacon. Everyone now knows. This is not just a deposit. This is not just wealth. This is a spiritual release, a divine elevation, an unstoppable breakthrough. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael has already declared that nothing on earth or beyond will come between you and what heaven has written in your destiny. Amen. 27. My beloved child, don't look away. Because this is the part where heaven's power becomes so overwhelming that even the walls of that bank feel the vibration of your destiny. Something huge is waiting for you, and the moment to unlock it is approaching like a divine drumbeat. The manager, trembling, tries to access the transaction history one more time, just to understand how such an impossibly large amount appeared under your name. But before he can click anything, the system overrides him and expands the screen on its own. A brilliant beam of golden light shoots across the monitor, forming ancient celestial symbols that rotate slowly, radiating a warmth the staff can feel in their chests. Then a line forms beneath the symbols. The beloved has been marked for divine ownership. Everyone gasps. They understand instantly what it means. This isn't money that can be transferred, touched or questioned. It is destiny sealed directly from heaven. Amen. 28. My chosen soul, now the tension evolves into something even deeper, reverence. The staff members, who moments ago were terrified, now feel a strange peace settling over them. The atmosphere becomes calm, not because the situation is normal, but because they sense something holy in the room. The glowing silhouette in the corner brightens slightly, enough for the youngest employee to place her hand over her heart. She whispers, "It's protecting them, whoever they are, it's protecting them." At that exact second, a new message flashes across every device in the room, as if answering her thought directly. The beloved is under spiritual covering. The manager steps back, realizing they are no longer dealing with a transaction, they are dealing with a divine mandate. Nobody questions it now. Nobody doubts it. They know heaven is in the room. They know Michael is watching. They know this blessing is untouchable. Amen. 29. My divine warrior, now watch what heaven does next. Because this is where divine justice hits its peak. The executive who tried to steal your blessing is shaking so violently that he has to hold onto the table to keep himself upright. The system, sensing his energy like a living spirit, displays another message. The one who envied the beloved shall face revelation. Suddenly, his private files, emails, secret plans, hidden accounts, begin appearing one by one on the central screen for everyone to see. His corruption. His intentions. His schemes. All exposed in seconds. The staff gasps. The manager's eyes widen. The executive collapses to his knees, unable to explain how the system accessed things even he kept buried. But heaven is not exposing him to embarrass him. Heaven is exposing him to protect you. To show the staff why they were chosen to witness this moment. To prove that no hidden hand, no jealous soul, no greedy heart can intercept a destiny written by heaven's own authority. Your blessing is secured. Your name is guarded. Your elevation is unstoppable. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael continues to stand in the center of this divine storm, ensuring your breakthrough reaches you, pure, untouched, and undeniable. Amen. 30. My beloved child, don't blink now, because what is happening inside that bank has shifted from a supernatural event into a full divine revelation. Something huge is waiting for you, and the moment of release is drawing closer with every breath they take. The manager, trying to steady himself, reaches again toward the keyboard, this time not out of curiosity, but out of fear, reverence, and responsibility. But before his fingers touch a single key, the screen brightens with a gentle, golden radiance. The staff shields their eyes. The glow is warm, not blinding, but powerful enough to make their hearts tremble. Then, in slow, majestic letters, a message appears. The beloved holds the divine right to claim. The room falls silent. No one questions it. No one argues. Everyone understands, heaven has chosen you, and heaven alone holds the authority over this blessing. Amen. 31. My chosen soul, now feel the shift, because heaven is no longer speaking through warnings, but through promises. The glowing emblem on the screen begins to spin softly, releasing waves of energy that wash across the room. Employees place their hands on their chests, overwhelmed by the sensation. Many feel tears rise without understanding why. It's not fear, it's awe. It's recognition. Then the emblem stops spinning and expands into a full seal, ancient, powerful, royal, etched with divine symbols no human alphabet could ever translate. Staff members whisper among themselves. This is sacred. This is destiny. This doesn't belong in a bank, this belongs in heaven. And heaven answers instantly with another line of divine text. The beloved shall receive what was written before their birth. The words sink into the air like thunder wrapped in silk. They know, this blessing wasn't created today. It was written long before your first breath. Amen. 32. My divine warrior, now behold how heaven removes the final obstacle. The executive who tried to steal your blessing is still on his knees, trembling violently. Suddenly, the temperature in the room drops. A soft but powerful breeze brushes past him, Michael's presence drawing near. He lets out a broken gasp. The staff looks at him, realizing something divine is confronting him directly. And then the entire system flashes another message, this time sharper, clearer, final. The beloved's destiny cannot be diverted. The lights flicker. The executive collapses forward, completely defeated, not by humans, not by rules, but by divine authority. All his schemes, all his intentions, all his hidden actions have been dissolved like dust in a storm. The manager removes his glasses, shaken, and finally speaks in a whisper that echoes through the room. We can't touch this. We can't move this. We can't release this without the one heaven has chosen. Everyone nods. Everyone agrees. Because everyone now knows. This blessing isn't just protected. It's ordained. It's prophetic. It's unstoppable. And it is waiting for you. Something huge is waiting for you, and Archangel Michael is standing guard at the gateway of your breakthrough, ensuring nothing in existence can block what heaven signed in your name. Amen. 33. My beloved child, stay exactly where you are. Because what is happening inside that bank has crossed into a level of divine manifestation that no human authority, no system, no technology can explain. Something huge is waiting for you, and heaven is now preparing the final stage of your elevation. The glowing seal on the screen pulses once, slow, deep, powerful, sending a warm vibration through the entire office floor. Staff members grip their desks. The manager's eyes widen as he watches the seal begin to expand, forming a ring of light around your name. Then a new message writes itself across the screen with divine precision. The beloved has been lifted above earthly restrictions. The staff gasps. They know this means your blessing is no longer bound by normal processes. No approvals. No signatures. No delays. Heaven has removed every barrier. Your destiny is being elevated into a realm where no mortal hand can interfere. Amen. 34. My chosen soul, feel the next shift, because this is where heaven reveals why the deposit is so massive, so supernatural, so impossible by human standards. The screen flickers, and suddenly the deposit details rearrange themselves, not decreasing, not changing the amount, but expanding the spiritual purpose attached to it. A new line forms. Restoration for generations. Another line. Compensation for years of silent suffering. Then another, glowing brighter than the rest. This is a covenant, not a transaction. The staff steps back. Some place their hands over their mouths. The youngest employee whispers, "This wasn't sent to make someone rich, this was sent to transform a bloodline." And heaven responds with a soft light that washes over the room in agreement. They understand now, this blessing is not about wealth. It is about purpose. Identity. Spiritual inheritance. You were chosen long before today. Amen. 35. My divine warrior, now watch how heaven executes judgment with unwavering precision. The executive who tried to steal your blessing tries again to stand, his legs shaking, his breath broken. He reaches for the door once more, desperate to escape the divine pressure, but before he touches it, the entire room vibrates softly. A message appears on the main screen again, written in luminous, commanding text. The one who opposed the beloved must confess before the release. The manager looks at him. The staff look at him. The executive begins shaking uncontrollably. He tries to speak, but his voice cracks. His secrets, the ones he hid for years, are pressing against his chest, demanding to be released. Then suddenly, his private messages, plans, schemes, corrupt files, scroll across the screen again, this time faster, louder, undeniable. He collapses, sobbing, finally realizing he's standing inside a divine tribunal. This is heaven's courtroom. This is Michael's territory. This is your justice unfolding. Your blessing cannot be stolen, delayed or tampered with. Something huge is waiting for you, and heaven has already declared that your destiny is unstoppable, unshakable, and fully protected. Amen. 36. My beloved child, don't move a muscle, because what is unfolding now is the moment heaven has been building toward since the very first pulse of this divine intervention. Something huge is waiting for you, and the whole atmosphere inside that bank has transformed into a sacred chamber. The glowing seal on the screen begins to rotate again, but this time it's slower, deeper, as if the heavens themselves are breathing through it. The staff feels the air thicken, not in fear, but in reverence. The manager's voice shakes as he whispers, "We are no longer handling a document, we are witnessing a destiny." At that moment, new text materializes beneath your glowing name. The beloved is entering the era of release. The words shimmer like molten gold. The staff steps back. Their hearts race. Every soul in the room understands, heaven is signaling that the long-awaited unlocking is near. Amen. 37. My chosen soul, now the divine pressure intensifies. The lights flicker, then grow brighter, not white, but warm, golden, like a sunrise breaking through the ceiling. The glowing silhouette in the room becomes slightly more defined. A few employees feel tears sliding down their cheeks without even realizing it. A pure, overwhelming peace floods their bodies. Then the central screen splits into 3 sections. On the left, the trillions deposited in your name, glowing as if alive. In the center, your name, surrounded by celestial fire that does not burn but illuminates. On the right, a new message forms slowly, as if heaven is writing it stroke by stroke. This is the beginning of their great lifting. The staff members exchange looks, they know something monumental is happening. The youngest employee whispers, "I've never felt anything like this." It's like heaven is lifting them with its own hands. And she's right. Heaven is raising you to a level where no human attack can reach. Amen. 38. My divine warrior, now comes the moment where heaven steps forward and reveals the deeper truth. The executive who tried to steal your destiny is trembling uncontrollably. Every attempt he made to hide, lie, manipulate, or interfere is collapsing under the weight of divine exposure. Suddenly, the system flashes another message, bright, powerful, impossible to ignore. The beloved's blessing will not be shared with the corrupt. The executive lets out a shaken cry. The staff looks at him not with anger, but with shock at how thoroughly heaven is dismantling every barrier around your blessing. Then, without warning, the lights flicker and a soft gust of wind sweeps through the room, rustling papers, moving hair, brushing across their faces. The manager whispers, "Do you feel that? Someone, something, is here." Yes. Michael is here. His presence is pushing the entire room into a divine stillness. A new line shines across the screen. The beloved shall receive without interruption. Your destiny is not just protected. It is guaranteed. It is sealed. It is unstoppable. Something huge is waiting for you, and heaven has already decided that nothing in existence can stand between you and the blessing written in your name. Amen. 39. My beloved child, don't even blink, because this is the moment where heaven stops hinting and begins unveiling. Something huge is waiting for you, and now the entire bank is standing inside a divine revelation that no earthly force can deny. The glowing seal on the screen suddenly contracts, tight, sharp, like a heartbeat preparing for its final release. The staff members step back instinctively. The air becomes warm, then cold, then still. It feels as if someone is drawing a breath so powerful that the entire room responds. Then the seal expands again in a burst of golden radiance, and a new message appears with thunderous spiritual authority. The beloved is now being positioned for access. The manager stumbles backward, gripping the table for balance. The youngest employee covers her mouth. Even the lights above flicker in synchronization with the glowing message. Everyone knows, this is it. Heaven is preparing to open the final gate. Amen. 40.